Good evening, I'm Dike Rostant. Welcome back to the TTT News. Numerous artists have extolled the virtues of a mother's love. Award-winning musician Neval Chatelal is taking this sentiment a step further. He joins us to discuss the formation of the Mama Tara Foundation, his very own foundation designed to implement charitable works while honoring his mother, Cassandra Tara Chatelal. It is time for In-Depth on the Mama Tara Foundation. Welcome, Neval. How are you doing?
Great. It's such a pleasure to be here with you and to speak on this day, a day which I dubbed Mama Tara Day, a day that is so significant to me because of what I intend to free today and invite everyone to come on board with a platform that encourages self-expression, all inspired by my mother and her life.
And let us bless this confirmation and this conversation even further and start off in terms of, I'm sure there's a multitude of things that you remember about Mama Tara, but what is one of those shining spots that you remember almost on a daily basis, one of those things that you remember about your mother?
I remember her strength, her forbearance, her ability to look past any of the things that may tend to make people feel heavy or burdened, and to continue smiling and laughing through it all. So whenever I feel, the pressures of anxieties or fears or any of the burdens of life falling heavy upon my shoulders, I remember my mother's brilliant smile, and it tends to just light the way and show me a way out of that seeming darkness.
And it really is a blessing to have this kind of signal and light shining the way forward in terms of moving forward. But with that said, what is the Mama Tara Foundation, Neval?
Well, the Mama Tara Foundation was born out of my very own need to formalize my vision and mission and my desire to effect change in whatever way I can. I've always partnered with various charitable organizations and foundations, and on my mother's passing, it helped to catalyze all of these ideas into fruition and to formally conduct all of these charitable works in her name and legacy. I believe that through this foundation and its vision and its mission, I can really express the things that I wish to express while honoring my mother. So in terms of her life and also what her death taught me, I hope to continue carrying that mantle of brilliance that my mother shared with the people around her, all in her name, continuing the good deeds.
And I want to get a little idea of some of those good deeds, some of the focus of the foundation, because to me, it is a big step moving from partnering with individuals, saying, okay, well, this is your charity, this is your foundation, this is really your responsibility, and you can just kind of come in and lend a hand or lend your time, talents, and treasure to say, okay, well, this is something, as you use the word formalizing, and saying, okay, well, we're going to consistently be moving forward with this thing and doing it to honor Mama Tara. What are some of those things that pop out to you in terms of that move? Because the serious thing though, Neval.
So I guess the tree of life, which is the emblem that I use to represent Mama Tara Foundation, that tree of life has many branches. So the primary focus of the foundation would be initially with members of the artistic community and the performing arts fraternity. And the intent is a very huge one. I intend to reach a lot of different areas of focus. And I intend to touch on education. I intend to touch on mental health, awareness. I intend to touch on so many different aspects of existence and life and areas that I feel that need to be addressed. And because I eat, sleep, and breathe music, I felt that it was most in tune with who I am. So it was the easiest step for me to take to try to effect change in this area. But the vision and mission is very huge, and I don't want to openly commit to doing things in all of these areas because I know it will demand a lot of my time. But time is something that was really, really brought to my attention on the passing of my mother. It really made me focus and helped me to stop postponing these ideas from coming into fruition. It really helped me to realize that there's no greater time than now. So whereas I would have been planning to start these things, let's say in my later years, around the age 50, when I may have had more time to focus on other people, I said, you know what? I don't know what the future holds. I don't know how long I'll be here. I should start right now.
And the fact that you raised the issue of time, and we have about 1.5 minutes before we go to the break, it seems as though you would have taken a step that is out of sync with what a lot of people are doing right now. Because during the pandemic, you find a great deal of individuals trying to make sure that their house is in order, making sure that things are right with them and their household and their family. It seems as though you're going in the opposite direction.
Well, I feel like there's this quote from Mahatma Gandhi ji that says, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And I always believe in putting others first and putting other people before one's very own self, to the effect that you can really be of service. And my mother has, at many times, been that type of person and been that type of personality. As all mothers are, they tend to put their children first. So we are all children of Mother Trinbago, and me as a brother, as a child who shares the same mother of the masses here in Trinbago. I want to put my brothers and sisters on the same stage and afford them the same opportunities that I have been afforded, all in my mother's name, Cassandra Tara Chatelal.
Beautifully put, Neval. We come back after this short break. We continue the conversation. We're speaking about the Mama Tara Foundation with Neval Chatelal. Stay with us. We come back with more.
You can listen to sound and realize that is the point of existence. To grow with this particular energy manifestation, to free it. One stage for all. Free the music.
Neval Chatelal. We're speaking with Neval Chatelal about the Mama Tara Foundation. Welcome back. This is In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. And Neval, when I see these images for Free the Music, it gets me very interested. So talk to me a little bit about the history of the concert itself, please, and we'll go from there.
So Free the Music is talent unbounded, expression freed, creatives and creativity unleashed. Free the Music does not discriminate based on age or experience or genre. Free the Music is one stage for all art forms. Free the Music is an all-inclusive platform that celebrates our diversity and the richness of everything that makes up the fabric of our society and its culture.
When was it recorded? What's some of the work that went into this endeavor?
So Free the Music was recorded on February 28th during the brief relaxation of restrictions. We were in some stifling situations before that, but I welcomed that time because it gave me time to process the passing of my mother. And through the grief and through all of the turmoil, I think I was able to really concentrate on myself and what I wanted for myself and how I was going to take that vision for myself and share it with others. So I've always, perceived Trinidad and Tobago to be the most diverse culture and to have a multiplicity that sometimes seems infinite in its expression. And we don't have enough of that being reflected on any national scale. I don't think there's a platform that celebrates all of these disciplines on one stage. So I felt like it was very important to have this platform. And of course, soon after its recording, we went into another lockdown, which presented a lot of hurdles along the way of getting the concert finally produced. But we are slowly reopening, and Queen's Hall has given me some dates to come and film the conclusion. And today I was so happy to share the premiere of Free the Music's trailer and get everybody excited for the TV special that would be releasing very soon.
And I really appreciate what it is you're saying about being able to concentrate and lock in. I mean, it's a little while after your mom's passing or transition, but that supreme level of focus leading to a level of artistry that can be unmatched. Who are some of the people who are involved and were able to share that moment with you, Neval?
So we had over 200 people auditioning to come on board and to perform on this stage. And I initially wanted 8 people, but because the talent was supreme, I had to open up the stage to 2 more acts. The acts include soloists and duos, and in one case, a trio. We had a saxophonist, Adrian Kong, Quinton Nichols, who is, there's the visuals, the Adrian Kong saxophone. Ishana, she's a singer-songwriter. Cherise Lutzman, she's an amazing singer. Dejan Kane, Susanna Surgeon, Quinton Nichols, Stefan Jaikaran, Dayobe JB, and I believe Noah Rahman was first on the lineup there. But let me tell you something about these performers. They are different levels, of course. So am I. I don't see myself as a consummate professional when it comes to me perfecting my craft, but we are all on different levels of expertise, but they all share a common thread when it comes to their approach to their music. Their music comes from a very sincere place, and they thirst for a level of self-expression, which I share. And when you see them perform and when you hear them, I'm sure you'd be spellbound. And I have to thank not only the performers for coming on board, but the entire production team, the band, the lighting engineer, the people who supplied the lighting equipment, our stage manager, the entire crew and cast, that all the limbs that came together and worked together like a well-oiled machine to have this live concert put on and recorded. So,
and in terms of you talking about having come from a place of sincerity, a place of purity, what are some of the other initiatives that you can see the Mama Tara Foundation taking its time, because I appreciate you saying, okay, well, you have to creep before you walk and you have to do this strategically. But what are some of those next steps that you think you can see the foundation moving towards?
I definitely want to talk about mental health. As somebody who suffers from terrible anxiety, I don't know, you may not notice, but right now I'm suffering from some really bad anxiety while even on this interview. So my hands are sweating, my feet are sweaty, and I'm very nervous in this conversation. So I believe that there are methods and techniques that we can employ. I try to employ them. And I believe that not everybody may have that information. And we can definitely have workshops where we can have professionals in their different fields come on board to give free workshops in schools or different settings or performance spaces to really help bring awareness to how to manage anxiety and fear. And this is just one of the aspects that I want to deal with when it comes to mental health. There's also depression, grief, how to cope with all of these things that tend to be a burden on our mental health. And one of the other burning issues for me, I believe Trinidad and Tobago is so divided, unnecessarily divided. And I believe education is the key to informing the next generation so that we don't have this same sort of divided society. So racism is something I want to tackle head on, and I believe we need to tackle that through the channel of education. And I would definitely love to partner with the Ministry of Education to do something to effect change in that area.
Okay, and I really appreciate that. No, but I don't understand you, don't Neval, because we know each other from khaki pants. Now, if it was the real Mr. Roster, then I and all might be anxious, but I mean, it's just me. But in terms of people engaging with the foundation, saying, okay, well, I love this idea, I want to be part of this idea, how do people contact the foundation to say, okay, well, they get information from you or they can share some of their information?
Well, I believe social media is the best way to connect with people right now. In fact, I would have scouted and seen many of the performers on their social media, and people would have sent me the auditions through that very same channel. So I'd encourage everyone to please follow the various pages. On Instagram, it's Free the Music Now. On Facebook, it's Free the Music TT. On Instagram for the Mama Tara Foundation, you can search up Mama Tara Foundation, mama.tara.foundation. It's the same on Facebook, mama.tara.foundation. Of course, my pages are all at Neval now. So feel free to use those inboxes there. And until I set up a formal number to receive calls, the social media channels are the best way to connect with me and the foundation.
Neval Chatelal, we want to thank you so much for sharing the time with us and then following the urgings and inspiration of Mama Tara in the Mama Tara Foundation. And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, we want to thank you for joining us.